What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about an incredibly dumb GTA 6 rumor that I really hope people don't believe, or if I could warn people to not believe it, that would be fantastic. This is more about, I would almost argue, the journalists and the media kind of pushing this thing at even remotely possible versus the rumor, I guess, even existing in the first place. And what is this rumor? Well, the rumor, I believe, stems from a reported budget, which I also think is not true for this game, that the game needs to make about $2 billion in order to start making money. I don't really understand where that money came from. I think it has to do with the marketing, because they have talked about spending an absolute insane amount of money around the time that GTA 6 is going to come out. That's the marketing of it, right? So I think from that, maybe there were numbers thrown around, but let me tell you a couple things, actually. Let me just kind of inform you on a few things. If $2 billion is the budget for this game, that is absolutely ridiculous. One of the most expensive games that we know publicly that actually has come out is Halo Infinite, cost around $500 million. We know games like The Last of Us or Horizon, those games have pushed like $300-400 million. We know Starfield was like 200 to 300, somewhere in that range. The bottom line is, do you hear me saying that any game is even $1 billion for the budget? No. And ultimately, what it really comes down to, a lot of that money is the workforce for an extended period of time. If you employ 400 or 500 people and you're having them work for 8 years, that's how, I mean, you can build up a lot of money very, very quickly that way, right? But I just can't imagine $2 billion being the budget for GTA 6. So that's kind of the first part. And considering the money on each copy, how much each copy would be sold for, I should say, right? Because that, I guess, stems from the $2 billion, I think we can kind of like immediately dismiss it based off that. But let's really quickly talk about how dumb it is to believe that the game is going to be $150 base price. Not saying that there won't be a collector's edition or some sort of version that maybe gets into the 100 to 150 plus, maybe even more, maybe 200, maybe 250. I'm sure there could be a version of the game that is that. But the base version, if you think it's not 70, I think you're kind of crazy, right? Now, look, Rockstar, Take-Two, like they've definitely done some questionable things as of late with Red Dead and with the GTA trilogy, a little while ago. Obviously, when they do these releases, they are in it to make money. I'm not saying that they're not, literally at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking for a cheap buck. Like Mr. Krabs is the first kind of character that kind of comes to mind when I think of them. I would not doubt that literally at all. But you have to remember, like, you're talking about the base price of a video game. You can't dynamically change the market like that. That's the first thing immediately for me that stood out when I saw, and why am I talking about this? There are so many articles talking about this, and the title is not dismissing it like at all. The title is, ooh, this could be $150. Ooh, new rumor, GTA costs $150. Do we stop and think about it for a second to say, if the base edition of GTA 6, the base game, you walk into your GameStops or you go on the PlayStation or Xbox store and you go to buy the game, if you think that the base price is $150, I don't even know what to tell you. Because can you imagine if that actually, like, let's actually put ourselves in that multiverse. What would that mean? Well, you can't just have a game come out and cost double the amount of a normal base game. Every game comes out, it's $60, it's $70 depending. Obviously, you have indies or smaller games. Sometimes they're $40 or $50. You have indies that are like $20 or $30. But did you hear me say $150 yet? Well, I'm not going to, right? Like, that's the problem. The highest you get is $70. Collector's editions or deluxe editions sometimes are $100. Sometimes they're $150. Sometimes, when you get into collector's editions with statues and whatnot, now you're into the $200. But $150 for the base game? Number one, I think people would not do that. I mean, GTA is going to sell no matter what, but I'd really hope that some people would put their foot down and say, why would I spend double the amount of an average game? You can't just come into the market and say, we are going to now do double, because then, like, what does Ubisoft do? What does EA do? What do all these other companies do based off of that? And that's just why, like, I don't want to think about it too hard, because it's not going to happen. It's absolutely not going to happen. The game will cost $70. There'll be deluxe editions or whatever. Whether the multiplayer is attached or that's separate to add, whatever. It may be more, but $70 is most likely 95% chance going to be the base amount of money that you're going to have to spend on this game. And then everything else, from there. GTA Online, I'm sure will make them trillions of dollars. No, probably not trillions, billions of dollars for sure, right? So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully nobody believes that, but it's actually startling the amount of tweets, the amount of sites that, again, just kind of put it out there and that it even has a sliver of a chance to happen. It doesn't. So I don't know why that's not represented in the title, that's not represented in the article itself, or at least early on in the article. Some articles are not even like dismissing it in the same way that I am. Like they're really giving it a shot that it could happen. I mean, what's it? But it's for clicks. They're doing it for clicks. They want that money. Whatever, I suppose. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. If you want to support or follow me anywhere else, all my other links to my other YouTube channels, my Twitter, my Discord, all in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next one.